All right, and we're on. So, we watched Thor this week, right? Well, I know
Yeah,
I did. I watched it more than once, actually. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. Now that I
yeah. I
watch
mean,
it for the second or third
that's
or
not
fourth
bad.
time.
It's what Kenneth Branagh
Yeah, so
directed by Ken.
this is the fourth movie in the
Yeah,
phase one of the
direct-
MCU,
yeah,
and
directed by the same guy that did Frankenstein.
is it?
Yes,
Oh, with Aaron Eckhart.
was it
Which
Aaron
Frankenstein?
Eckhart? No, the one was Robert De Niro.
Oh, so it's kind of old.
Was there one with Aaron Eckhart? I guess I missed
I
that.
can't remember if it's Aaron Eckhart now. It may be something else. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Kenneth Branagh.
Well, he's an actor.
Yeah,
You
he
do know he's
is,
an
right?
actor.
That's why I thought it was.
Or was an actor. He's an English actor. I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now he was in. I'm sure he was in a lot of good things. I think it
He's
was like a Matchstick. I think it was called Matchstick Man or is it
Oh, so
Matchstick
it's the old movie
or
Matchstick Man.
Mothman. Yeah, well, he's in a lot of old movies. I can't think of anything recently he's done.
Well,
I mean,
Thor.
he was a big star. Yeah, I mean, they're like, hey, you want to direct Thor, which is weird because. But I guess it's okay because I think Iron Man was directed by an actor.
Yeah, that's right. Who
He did.
directed what's that movie? Incredible Hulk.
I don't know, not an actor. Come on, you got to remember that was Universal. They're going a different direction. Paramount's like, hey, this guy's directed. Let's just keep doing it this way.
Yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, this one is also Paramount too. I noticed. So it's
Yeah, well, yeah, distributor because Disney hasn't bought them yet. I don't think Disney took over until Avengers.
Avengers. Is that the first?
Yeah, I
Well,
think
we'll find out because
I think Disney was in talks about it, but they didn't buy it yet.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so now we got Thor, which
So
we're introduced at the end of Iron Man 2.
yeah, so it actually continues from Iron Man 2 in a way.
Yeah. Well, did you see that? Well, the hammer. I mean, where did we start in the movie?
We start off by Jane and Darcy and Eric. Was it Eric Selvig? His name is Eric, right? I can't
Yeah,
remember his.
his
Yeah,
name is Eric.
they were in a car. They were looking for something. You don't know what they were looking at for.
Yeah. Well, we had an idea what they were.
Well, yeah, I have an idea, but
If you saw Iron Man 2, you have an idea what they're looking for.
well, it wasn't the hammer yet. No, they're watching for some
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
we're before the hammer. Yeah, we're before the hammer. Well, there's
yeah,
something keeps coming through.
yeah,
And
some
that's
kind
what
of wavelength like they were trying to catch.
Yeah, because Karen Foster, she's an astrophysicist,
Yeah.
which is a big change from the comic book. Because in the comic book, she's just a nurse.
Oh, she's just a nurse in a comic book. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. Well, she could just go ahead and go over it with the comic book. In the comic, well, no, we need to just keep going. But she is a nurse in the comic book. That's all she is.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I like that. I see where you're going with that. Okay, go. So
Because there's more of the story's going to be revealed as we go further in this movie.
right, I think they were trying to. Well, in now that I watch it again, they were trying to catch something before it hit. Okay.
Well, I thought they were just having like there's just storms appearing, and
Yeah.
they already know they're trying to.
Like
They're thinking
Twister.
she thinks it's wormholes already. She already thinks it's a wormhole. Which, of course, what do they use? Einstein something bridge, blah blah blah. I'm not an astrophysicist, so I don't know that.
Oh, yeah, they use that Einstein something bridge. Yeah, I'm not a physicist, so I
but
don't
of
know
course,
the Deweys and
but
you know.
in Darcy's language, it's a wormhole.
Yeah, it's a wormhole because well, we'll get to that point. So that's what they were looking for, and then when they found it, Thor actually landed, and then she hit him with the car.
Well, yeah, the two girls are fighting over who's driving, and
Yeah,
they hit
that's
this
what
guy with the
they
car.
hit a guy in a car, and then they did a flashback to where they get you that scene. So that's how
Yeah.
that started.
Well, yeah, of course they're praying he's not dead.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, because they don't know what they hit, you know.
Yeah.
And
So
then
yeah,
they start
then
the
we go
ride.
back to the original story on Asgard.
Yeah, on Asgard, how it all began.
Yeah, we get to see Thor's family and everything that's going on, which his dad is Odin.
Hmm.
Which, if you don't know the story, then
Yeah, that's
apparently
really weird. Like
you
if
didn't
you
pay
don't know the
attention in
story.
school. Yeah, if you don't know the story, you probably didn't pay attention in school. I don't know. I don't know what they taught when you were in China. Did they teach about
No,
Norse mythology?
no, they don't
How
teach
about Greek?
anything about
How
that.
about Greek mythology?
No, I know
Did
nothing
they even
until
have a
like the.
Chinese? Did they have a Chinese mythology?
I think just Chinese history. Not that I'm not familiar with any Chinese mythology, anything like that.
Oh.
Not like
So
Homer
they
the
don't like
Odyssey
telling.
and things
So they
like
really
that.
don't like telling stories.
No, it's just real stuff, I guess.
Okay, I can see why.
Hey, it's yeah.
I can see why you came to America. Welcome, by the way.
For better, opportunity and stuff. But yeah,
In good
thank you.
movies. In good movies. like,
Great
yeah, I wanted
movies.
some entertainment, so I moved to America.
We came for entertainment. That's why
Yeah.
we come to the
Somebody
U.S.
said, my dad says it's about communism, but no, it's about
Yeah, it's about the movies. Communists. What are you gonna do?
yeah.
They don't have the movie qualities. They have the
But
movie screens, but they don't have the movies.
yeah, they got a lot of movie screens, but oh
Yeah,
well.
they have a lot more than
Well, somebody's
U.S.
got to teach them how to tell stories, and this is where we're
Yeah,
starting.
this is
But
where we
anyhow, we
started.
learn about the nine rims.
The 9 realms, because Odin was telling the sons about the 9 realms of story.
Yeah, it starts off and he's telling them about the war against Niflheim, the frost giants.
The frost giants.
Yeah, the frost giants, and he's telling about the 9 realms, which actually, in the comic book, actually there is more than 9 realms in a way.
Okay.
But we might as well go with the realms in a way are just they're like universes on top of each other. Because Earth is Melgard is Earth's rim, which would be like all our solar system, everything that you see. The Chitauri, the Kree, the Krill, all those are in our rim. And then you got Asgardian rim, which is is the capital city that you see. It's a flat world with the sun that rises and a bridge called the Bifrost.
Yep, Bifrost.
And within their world, though, they have other little villages and cultures. Because as you can see, there was an Asian character.
Yeah, Jackie Chan.
Actually, if you notice, all those guys were actually all the Warriors 3, or what they're called. They're all actually different Asgardian groups.
Different Asgardian groups, okay.
Yeah, they're from probably like villages or continents or stuff within Asgardian. Then you got Niflheim, which is another one. Then you got their heaven. What was their heaven? Valhalla.
Okay.
Other rim. Then there's supposed to be like 10 or more rims, but the Asgardians only rule or control over 9 of them.
9, yes.
But one of the rims is actually, and I don't know if they'll ever show up in the MSU, and it may tell about it when the Celestial movie comes out.
Oh.
Well, this is all celestial territory now.
Yeah.
All the rims are created by the Celestials. And the Celestials are supposed to come back to Earth and judge humans constantly. And at one point, they come back to destroy the humans.
Well, before you go on to all that, right, it feels like Odin only tells them about the frost giants. Are they like the toughest of all the ones?
Well, the frost giants, the story is the frost giants took over almost all the 9 rims with their with that little thing. It's called the casket of past winners or something.
Yeah. That's square box.
Yeah, anyhow, this is how they did it. He's telling about the war. He fought them. And then it has a flashback to Earth showing how the people how humans found out about the Norse people. Or I guess I can't say Norse people, the Asgardian.
Yeah.
Which they worshipped as Norse gods. But actually, Zeus is supposed to exist in the Marvel Universe too, and all those guys.
But not.
Those are another rims. And they're actually the same way. All these advanced people came to Earth at some time in the past, and humans worship them, and they love Earth because we worship them.
Odin kind of said that, like the man only believed one thing, and that's how you go into the story of that.
Yeah, and then of course, we see them beat the ice giants and all, and take what they wanted.
Well, and to take what they want, and this is the first time I think we get a little bit glimpse of Thor's personality as a kid. Like he's hard-headed.
As a younger person, because what is he? He's like still several hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't touch on that, It's
yeah,
not
they
like
touch on it. I guess, I forgot what movie it tells us how old he really is.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Endgame.
Yeah, he's hundreds of years old. He still acts like a teenager.
Well, yeah, when he was, they go to the story, and then that was the day that he was supposed to take the throne, right?
Yes. Well, they tell the story, and then the next setting is where he's taken over from his father.
Yeah, he's taken over
because we see that both the boys as young kids.
Yep. And you can see Loki's personality too. Like he's like a
little
wimp.
I was supposed to say when they're kids, it's also showing you Thor's still kind of arrogant.
Oh, he's
arrogant. He still talked about war, and his dad's trying to tell him about the best man doesn't start a war.
Oh no, he said like a king doesn't take this to war, but you always be prepared for it.
He's always prepared for it. And then of course we go to this coronation where Thor is showing off.
Yes.
And then we see the rest of the characters. We see the Warriors 3.
And the Queen, his mother.
His mother, Frigga, is the Lady Sif. And then of course Loki, who's thinking, this is crappy. Dirk's about to be the king.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that's when the ice giants invade.
Yeah, right before he
Asgard.
announced it, like the timing was perfect, right? Like right before, and he's like the ice giants.
Yeah, and then we see the destroyer
Yeah, the destroyer.
comes out of the wall.
That's from the ice giants, right? Or
With the destroyer? No, the destroyer is the guy that came out of the wall and
they
kills
came
the
out
ice.
the wall that protecting
Yeah,
the relics.
the king of Asgard controls the destroyer.
The destroyer, yes.
The whole point of the destroyer in the comic books is to fight the Celestials.
Yes.
But the thing is, it depends on what comic book you read. Odin made that is supposed to make it, and he controls it. The king of Asgard always controls it, and he can see whatever the destroyer sees.
Yes.
But if you read the comic books, I think eventually they said that the destroyer is built by the dwarves that build Thor's hammers we see in the Endgame.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones that built it. They built it.
Yeah, they build weaponry. Yes.
Yeah, so they're the ones that built the destroyer.
Oh, I like that.
But anyhow, this destroyer makes real quick work of the ice giants. Like there's like nothing.
Yeah. So now that they in the relic or trophy room, right? They're in the room of the relics.
Yeah, the relic room.
So it looks like the frost giants was trying to get back what was once belongs to them.
They want the casket.
Yeah, they want the casket.
So
and then
and of course they don't get it. I mean,
nobody
even had to show up to go down there to get it.
Yeah.
Which is funny. The destroyer just wiped them out. But of course, Thor's all mad.
Yep, because he want to know why. Yeah.
Yeah, but his dad keeps telling him, "Hey, they didn't get it.
They didn't get anything, so no harm, no foul, right? That was the whole point.
Exactly.
And all he want to do is the arrogant self is like, I need to make them feel the fear.
Yeah, exactly. He's got some kind of weird idea that he's got to be the boss now.
Yep. Definitely the boss, or the alpha, like I'm the alpha of all of you.
Yeah, I'm like you could clearly see there's nothing. Those guys were no match for anything.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, they were no match for anything. And at that time, right, it feels like those Frost Giants knew that they was like, hey, this is a transfer of power. Let's do it on this day. It just before you know what was going on, it just felt right.
I think the big point of the scene was actually make you wonder why did those guys even show up there because they got killed so easily.
Yep.
And of course it goes into it a little bit more because after that we see Thor's all mad. Of course Loki tells him that the right thing would have been to do is to go start a war. But it's wrong. You shouldn't do that.
Yep.
Of course, Thor's like,
okay, put that idea in his head.
Yeah, put that idea in his head. Of course, Thor's like, okay, we're gonna go fight. So they go across the bridge and they're gonna go to.
Well, and at that point, he's trying to convince his friends too.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew it was a bad idea.
Yeah, of course he's like, who's always right?
Yeah, who's always. So
Who helped you do this?
His ego is so big, like his helmet.
I know.
With the wings,
Especially when he goes up to Lady Sif. And who made you the greatest warrior? And she's like, I did.
I did. Oh well, I supported you.
But I supported you. Of course, then they take off to go to the Bifrost Bridge.
Yeah.
And that's when we're introduced to what's his name?
Heimdall. Yeah.
Heimdall.
Which is played by Idris Elba.
Yes. And I hear he didn't like doing the role, but hey, he was awesome.
He didn't like doing the role. Is it because he felt that was kind of?
I don't know. That's what I read. I read a few things saying he was, and it may be because he didn't get that much lines because he really didn't get to do very much.
No, but he was so important though.
I think it was because look at him. He looked humongous.
He wasn't humongous. He had a big old that sword, as a key.
I know. I'm like, are you gonna cross that guy's bridge? No. I'm like, I'm not coming to Asgard unless I have an escort with Thor, because look at that dude. He's huge, and plus he can see everything and he hears everything.
That's the thing. He can see and hear everything,
Which the neat thing in the comic book, that's supposed to be Lady Sif's brother.
Oh, that is? Okay.
Yeah, and we can go ahead and say it is, because...
Well, you know what? They could still be, but, they don't have to touch on that.
We don't know how Asgardian families work.
Yeah, I don't know how they work.
But this is the neat scene, because, okay, they're all got their coats on, and they're all on the cross. But Loki, he says something to Loki, goes, you're not dressed for the weather.
Yeah, so he already know where they were going.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that. He already knows that Loki's not Asgardian. He doesn't know, but it pretty much the story's pointing out that Loki's not one of them.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, because the first thing he says to Loki is like, he says that, and you automatically think, well, he doesn't have a coat on, but shouldn't you thought, why come everybody else has a coat on and he doesn't?
Oh. I
But
didn't.
also,
Oh, I see it now. I can remember the scene.
yeah, because remember he says that, and it's just kind of he doesn't have anything to say. Because they even pointed out for the first time Loki does basically they say Loki doesn't have anything to say. Silver tongue didn't work that.
Yeah, Silver Tongue turns lead or something. Yeah.
Yeah, turned to lead.
Oh, I want to point out who played that guy, Ray Stevenson.
Yes, Ray Stevenson.
He also played the Punisher. So was it Chris Evans? Not the only person that played a Marvel superhero. Ray Stevenson
beforehand.
too.
Yeah, Ray Stevenson.
But I think it's because he didn't get like a lead role like Captain America. It's just one of the. It says Warriors 3, but there's 4 of them.
Well, that's the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, the 3 guys always banded together, and then Lady Sif joined their group.
Oh, okay.
So she's not really one of the because those guys are just friends, and that's how they become friends, fighting battles all over the place.
Right.
They just like to fight. Everybody likes to fight on us.
Yeah, it's just because they're young and arrogant, like they're warriors.
Yeah, you've seen their city. I mean, it's amazing.
It's beautiful.
When it opens the scenes of Asgard, all the buildings and stuff, Rainbow Bridge and stuff. I'm like, wow. I mean, in a way, this is like what people would almost thought was heaven would be.
Oh, I was going to say that. That's like what heaven would probably look like in my imagination.
Even though there's still another rim, which is supposed to be the Norse heaven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when all the warriors die, like all the Vikings die on Earth, and all the Asgardians die, they're supposed to go to Valhalla, which is another rim. But I don't know if they'll ever tell that rim. I can't remember if it appears again or not. But anyhow, so they go to Niflheim.
Sure, yeah, Niflheim.
I think it's Niflheim. They go to the ice giant world.
Yeah, the ice giant world,
I don't like the code, so I'd be like, yeah, y'all can go ahead. I wait.
So once they get there, right, it feels like they made a wrong choice, but is Thor the only one who can actually probably beat up everyone single-handedly?
Apparently so. Yeah. I mean, I noticed that when they start to fight, you see how powerful Thor is. Compared to everybody else, he's even a god on their own world.
Yeah, because Loki knows that earlier or later. Like Thor could single-handedly beat up everyone in that world.
But is it because he has a hammer?
I don't know.
But it probably also has to have something to do with the fact that he's the son of Odin.
Yeah, he's the son of Odin. That's right.
Because Odin, we see how powerful Odin is.
Yeah.
I mean, just the presence of him when he shows up on his 8-legged horse. Hey, which is, by the way, the true Norse myth.
Well, before we get to that, right? Because, they try to negotiate a deal. It feels like they just go there, right? Just to say that, like, hey, you know what? You're right. We shouldn't have come, Because Loki works that out.
Well, yeah, they basically, everybody else thinks is about it. Of course, Thor, though, still thinks, hey, I'm going to kill everybody.
Yeah, and then laughing would say, like, yeah, go home, little princess.
Yeah. And what did he say? And Loki goes, oh, damn.
Yeah, it's like, damn. Like, he called him little princess. Because he's wearing a cape and his long hair,
Yeah, well, even Iron Man makes fun of him for that. So.
Yeah, because Point Break.
Oh yeah, then we see the fight, and then that's when we see how powerful Thor is.
Yeah, Thor and actually the ice giants are pretty powerful because they freeze things.
Yeah, because they're so giant. Plus, if they touch you, they give you frostbite.
And that was the first time they touched Loki.
Yeah,
and that's when I don't think he knew, right, at that point.
No, he didn't know. Yeah, at that point he didn't know, but then he started he was curious about it.
Yeah, he was curious.
Because it turned his hand blue, and then he could turn it. He put magic to put his color back.
Yep.
So in a way, I think he realized there's a spell on him, and he couldn't figure out what it was. Because he just realized there's magic on him.
Yep.
So of course he's also going, I'm the guy that brought those 3 frost giants there the first time. I hope I don't get found out.
Yeah. So this is also the time that you go. He has that. What is it? Not teleportation, right? That's some kind of fake imagery.
Yeah.
He has that spell.
His magic. I mean, he's more of a wizard, I guess.
Yeah, a wizard.
I mean, apparently he learned magic. I don't know any of the story behind his magic.
Well, because their mother's a witch.
Is their mother a witch?
Yeah, Rene Russo, the figure. You don't remember?
I don't remember.
She mentioned that in I believe Endgame.
Oh,
when Thor went back to see her, and that's when she revealed she was a witch.
Okay.
So that she could tell that she's from the future.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, like he said, I mean, Thor even says it in the movie that there are societies where magic and technology exist
Yeah, it's
together.
the same thing. Yep.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So we see some of Loki's powers. He's got
Yep.
even more powers, which you'll find out. But yeah,
Yes.
we see his powers, and then of course they're about to get their
Yeah, butts
butts kicked.
whooped.
Yeah, and then
Except Thor. Thor was the only one that was doing
yeah,
fine.
yeah, I know. Especially with the dad when the dad shows up.
But even before the dad showed up, they said they have to go, and he's like, just go.
Yeah, just go. I like
Why
it
did
when
he
the dad.
waste so much effort trying to
But
tell
it's
his friends
crazy
to
when
come?
when the dad shows up, he raises his hammer up. He goes, "Yeah, we will
Yeah.
beat freedom
And they
together."
told him to be quiet.
Yeah, shut up.
Oh.
Shut up, Junior.
I think the line of like when these are actions of a boy, so treat him like such. What it was such big thing because like Thor was not even ready for the throne.
Yeah, yeah, and of course the ice giants are like, yeah, now we got a
Yep.
problem.
Yeah, we have a problem. Now we have a war, and like so be it. So he has that little whatever power, boom. That single hit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
when he says
Bifrost.
so be it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bifrost Bridge.
Yeah, the Bifrost. Is that what that happened? Like, so it just
Yeah, that was
went
the
so he
bridge.
could
They
get
just
out.
pulled them up on the bridge.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like a wormhole going through dimensions. I mean, to them, they call it a bridge because it is part of the bridge. The Rainbow Bridge goes to that little ball thing that spins.
It's like the express subway.
Yeah, it's all one giant bridge, is what it really is. In the comic books, it's actually a full rainbow.
It's a full rainbow, right? Yeah, they tried to make it cooler.
The bridge it's drawn like a rainbow, like you see it
Well,
in the sky.
They keep that color in there. It looks like Mario
Yeah,
Kart.
I think it looks it looks more realistic.
Yeah,
in
it
the
looks
movie.
realistic. Yeah,
In the comic book, it's like in the comic book, you're like, what?
it feels like you can find Lucky Charms at the end of that thing.
Exactly. Where's Lucky at? And then, of course, this is when Thor gets banished.
Yeah, get banished. He gets thrown out. His dad talks to him about like, hey, you're arrogant and stuff. You're not ready for the throne and things like that. So, and he took his powers away from him. He took those emblems off. Like, you're not worthy of these.
Yeah, well,
realms.
he took pretty much his armor. Yeah.
Yeah, he took his whole
stripped him of
armor.
I guess you could say he stripped him of his armor.
Put him on
He took his
Earth.
hammer.
Yeah, and then
of course
put that spell on it.
Yeah, and then he talks in the hammer. Yeah, whoever holds his hammer will have the power of Thor.
So
Which actually is the exact words that are in the comic book.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Thor, yeah, it's an important deal because in the comic book, you pick up the hammer, you become Thor.
So
before
this
the hammer
point,
gives you your power back.
So the hammer gives you your power back. I was gonna ask. So is it before this point, anyone could have picked up the hammer until he got thrown away?
I don't think anybody could. Nobody could pick up the hammer
except for Thor, right?
Yeah. I mean, in a way, it's like I don't know why it says there. I mean, the comic book. There's a reason. The reason the words are in the comic book actually don't ring true in the movie in a way.
Oh.
Because in the comic book, somebody finds a hammer, and as soon as he hits the hammer, well, actually, the hammer when he finds a hammer, the guy finds a hammer, and I'll tell you who he is later because I'll mention his name. But there's a guy that finds it in a cave, and it looks like a walking cane, and he needs to get out of the cave, so he hits that walking cane twice, and boom, he turns into Thor.
Whoa.
And then he realizes that walking stick is now a hammer, and on the side of the hammer it says, "Whoever holds this hammer will have the power of Thor." So if he hits a hammer, it is funny because if he hits a hammer a certain amount of times, twice, he can make it rain and lightning. If he hits a hammer once, it turns back into a walking stick, and he turns back out of the Thor. If he loses the hammer for more than 60 seconds, he turns back to a regular person.
So wait, so that when Odin says that line, right? He also say if he be worthy, like something like that, right?
Yeah, in a way, and I think that's what it says on the hammer. Whoever's worthy or something.
Yeah, might possess the power of Thor.
Possess the power of Thor. But yeah, it says, "Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor."
Power of Thor, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
That's what I'm saying. Journey in history.
That's when Odin threw that hammer to the, I guess, Bifrost too, because they were still standing.
Yeah, well, he just threw it straight out into space. Yeah. I don't think he was aiming, and who knows? He's Odin. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, do what he wants.
His staff. Well, you got to remember, he has a staff too.
Yes.
I forgot and it has a name, but I don't know what the name is at the moment. But he has a staff, and his staff is actually like Thor's hammer. there's a lot of people in Asgardian that are powerful or important have a certain weapon made for them that holds a lot of power. So yeah, like Heimdall has a sword. With the sword, Heimdall can make the bridge appear.
Yes.
Well, with the staff that Odin has, he can actually open the bridge too.
Oh, okay.
So that staff he has is almost as powerful as Heimdall's sword, and almost as powerful as Mjölnir? Mjölnir.
Mjölnir. Yeah, Mjölnir.
The hammer. It's the same power as that.
Oh, it's just like a cater to each individual.
Yeah, they're all made. I'm sure they're all made by the dwarves.
Yes.
Or they were, because I mean they even make axes and stuff.
These giant dwarfs,
Yeah. Oh, they can be. Also, I've heard they can make gloves. Don't pass that around. You don't want the wrong person to get that kind of information.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they can make the glove. It's not a weapon, but yes.
But anyhow, he's cast out, right? And then that's when we go back.
We go back to the beginning,
Yeah, where they find him laying out in the desert.
Yep.
I just driving around in the desert in New Mexico and hit Thor.
It's a good intro.
Crap. It's a strange crap that you'll hear out in New Mexico when you're driving around.
And then like when he woke up, right, he just says hammer, and Darcy's like, yeah, we could tell that you're hammer.
Yeah, I love Darcy's character, by the way.
It is so great. She's just
yeah, because remember when he hit, she's like, does he need CPR?
Yeah, because I definitely know CPR. Once they see how good looking he was.
Yeah, hammer. Yeah, you're definitely hammered.
And like Dr. Selvig was like, we should get him to a hospital. And Jane is like, he's fine.
Fine.
He's walking around talking. He's fine.
Yeah, let's look at my research.
Yeah, because they were. She was really curious about looking at the ground, like the markings and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's almost like they almost didn't notice the ground. And I'm like, how could you not notice that burn marks? I mean,
yeah.
If you have a nice yard, you wouldn't want Thor to visit because
right.
he'd just burn that up.
And they wouldn't. They probably wouldn't have left that spot if Thor wasn't pushing him like, "Hey, what realm is this?" And he started naming stuff like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
Yeah, let's take it to the hospital.
They think he's crazy, and then they told him to calm down. That's when Darcy shot him with the taser, and he's like, "How dare you hold a puny weapon against the mighty Thor?" And he's like.
And I guess that's when it should have told us that he doesn't have any superpowers.
Yeah, but he doesn't even know that yet because he just got electrocuted.
He doesn't know it, but I'm hoping. It's a good thing he doesn't because I'm hoping that taser wouldn't take down the real Thor.
Yeah, the real Thor is just like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
And then they took him to the hospital.
Yeah. I like it.
Did he even say that his name? Oh, yes, he said the mighty Thor. That's when he said it.
Yeah, he said he's his son, Odin's son. So yeah, they take him to the hospital.
Dad, hold on. Just because he says he's Odin's son, right? I was gonna tell you right off the bat before I forget. I'm gonna start changing the names of my kids to Lamb's son.
You're gonna name both your kids Lamb's son?
I was gonna ask you about that name thing. Is that gonna if Thor have a son, would the last name would be like Eric Thor's son or something? Is that how they name the kids?
I think it would be.
Yeah, because even Loki is like Loki, Odin's son.
Yeah. I think they want to name it all, but I noticed in the comic books, Odin has a father, and he's not named by that.
Oh, he's not named by that.
So, yeah, I forgot what his father's name is, and that's something maybe Marvel added.
Oh, okay.
Since Odin's supposed to be able to regenerate constantly.
Oh, really?
Well, that's why the Odin sleep.
Oh. Okay.
So, okay, well, they take him to the hospital.
No, and then he woke up in the middle of it, right? Because he woke up.
He woke up and it didn't end too well for all the people in the hospital. I'm like, why would you run at somebody? Because you see him tossing like people in the X-ray machines and whatever. I mean, it takes a while for the cops to actually show up.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure they were just there hanging out drinking coffee, but.
Yeah, there was a lot of security at once. So it's like 11 dudes in that room.
Well, a lot of them were just medical people. I'm like, for a small town hospital, they sure did have a lot of people. I live in a town about the size of what that town is.
Yeah.
I'm in the hospital. There ain't hardly anybody in there. If I was Thor, nobody would stop me. I basically 2 people, and they'd leave. And if cops showed up, maybe 3 of them, all that we had in town, they would have to call the highway patrol. And then by the time the highway patrol, you'd only get 1 guy.
Yeah, so it takes a while, but there was like a lot of people trying to hold him down, and then that's when they shot him with some kind of,
Yeah. I'm like, how do you have that many people in that town?
So it was like the second time he got knocked out like within an hour.
Well, I'd say it's probably a bigger town. Yeah, because they gave him that shot.
Yeah. And then like they gave him that shot, right? But by that time, like Jane, Darcy, and Eric has already left the hospital. They're trying to go back and
But
go
yeah,
back
they're
to
trying
work.
to go back to work, which is a good deal because I mean, you didn't want to be there and try to tell them what happened.
Yeah, what happened? I hit him in the car,
Remember,
but she
because the
tased
lady asked him, "So who is this guy?" He says his name is Thor.
Yeah.
And what relation are you? We never seen him before.
But she hit him in the car, but she tased him.
Yeah, she tased him. Yeah, so they go back to work.
They go back to work. That's when you find out Darcy's a political scientist, and no one signed up for Jane's program, like whatever her research is.
Well, come on, because Jane's program's kind of like off the wall. What do? I'm gonna go hunt for wormholes out in New Mexico.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Actually, I would sign up for that. I mean, come on, it's just nuts.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if they pay, but it sounds like a fun gig, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. If they don't pay, I probably can't.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. But those are probably
Well, I don't really have anything. I don't have anything going on in my life. I could go do it.
Yeah, just do it like, hey, go see what's going on,
It's like I'm gonna hang out with this lady. It looks like Luke Skywalker's mom. Out in the desert.
Well, that's when they went back to work, and that's when Darcy picked up the picture. Like there was a guy in that shot.
Yeah, the guy inside that tornado thing.
Yep. I mean that's the tornado thing, and that's
when
when Jane wanted
I like
to
it
go
when
back
she
to the
goes.
hospital.
I think I left something in the hospital.
Yeah. So basically, they left the guy there, and now they gotta go back. And when they went back, he was no longer there. Like we're no longer in that room because he got out again.
Yeah.
Because Thor got out again, I don't even know how. Like he didn't even struggle. Like basically, he took his hand off that restraining.
Yeah.
Like,
he just tried to wiggle his way out of the strap.
Yeah, wiggle his way out, and then he went outside. They tried to look for him. His room is
he's
not
walking
there.
down the street.
Was he even down the street? I guess he was walking outside the hospital because you hit him in the car again.
Oh yeah, he was walking back behind their vehicle. Yeah. They hit him again with the car.
They hit him again.
Of course, he's like, "I promise you, I'm not trying to do this on purpose."
That's when they took him to, I guess, their office or whatever they were staying at. They probably stay at that office.
I thought they took him to the diner.
No, not yet. They took him to that place. That's when they find out, for a homeless guy, he's pretty cut.
Oh yeah, where they're watching him put on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's when you find out that shirt belonged to her ex, which is a medical doctor, because he says hi.
Medical doctor.
Donald Blake, MD.
And Donald Blake, and of course she says he was good with patients, but not good at relationships.
Yes.
Which now this is where we go back to the comic book.
Yeah, the nurse thing. Yeah.
Thor is Donald Blake.
Thor is Donald Blake.
Yeah, in the comic book, you start off with a character named Donald Blake.
Mm-hmm.
He's a doctor. He's vacationing in Europe. He's a weak. He has something wrong with him. He has to walk with a cane. He's very frail.
Okay.
He doesn't really have that much confidence. And of course, some aliens from Saturn attack the Earth.
Wow.
And so he has to go hide in the cave. And while he's in the cave, he loses his cane, so he's got to crawl into the cave. And he finds another cane. And he needs to get out of the cave, so he's trying to hit on this big rock with the cane, and he turns into Thor.
Oh, okay.
And that's when he realizes he looks at the hammer and he reads that inscription on it. Then he realizes now he's Thor. Well, the thing is, for the longest time in the comic books, it's Donald Blake is the guy that turns into Thor. So it's kind of like a Shazam mode,
Oh, okay.
And in a way, it's also like a lot of the superheroes because there's a fight scene where he fights, and then the nurse, what's her name?
The what?
Padme. What was her character's
name? Jane Foster.
Yeah, Jane Foster. I'm sorry, I forget her name. Jane. He's like, so where were you? He goes, I was hiding. And it's in a lot of comic books, where the main guy turns into the superhero. And
you're basically describing like King Arthur, kind of.
Well, it's kind of King. Well, that was more King Arthur.
Yeah.
King Arthur, though, he didn't turn back to no more guy.
No, yeah,
I think that's the story. He was always King Arthur.
Yeah.
He just became the King of England.
Yep.
But you're right. Thor is a lot like King Arthur.
Yeah.
Which is also in the Marvel comic books too.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he picks up the hammer, and he does all the secrets. So I was thinking, though, if you hit the hammer a certain amount of times, it does certain things. Mm-hmm. If he hits it once, he turns back to the regular guy. But if he actually messes up, he hits it twice, it rains. So I'm like, I hope the first time you hit it, you don't turn back to the regular guy, you're going to get killed.
So hold on. So before they go to the diner, that's when you find out, like, a guy was driving a truck, and they found a hammer at that site before anyone found it, and he trying to
No,
pick it up.
that's at the restaurant where we find out.
No.
We see the scene. Yeah, you're right.
We see the scene where they trying to get it.
Where and then
a
of course
random
Coulson,
dude. Yeah, he's just a random guy.
Yeah, well, one of the random guys is not a random guy.
No, not that scene yet. Not before everybody was setting a barbecue. That was a scene where a guy was just driving his truck across that desert part.
Oh yeah, we see that, and it's probably the landowner.
Yeah, so and then after that, that's when everybody's setting up a barbecue. I love that dude was cooking up hot dogs, man. I love that dude a lot. If I was there, like, oh dude, I got you to have some beer, trying to pick up this hammer, and have a hot dog and burgers. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because we learn later on those guys say it's a satellite, but I'm like,
well, that's what they probably the shield people tell them. Like,
well, I'm thinking though. I mean, come on. One person in New Mexico is going to look at it and go, "Oh, that's a satellite." Everybody's going to go, "Look at that! That's a stupid hammer."
It looks like a hammer, but
But here's the funny thing is, if the hammer goes in the ground, and it destroys all the dirt, there's like a big hole around it.
Yeah, it's a big hole around it.
For some reason, there's a pile of dirt right up to the bottom of the hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, the hammer should have been against the ground. In real life, come on. If something goes to hit the space, it's not going to leave a deal of dirt and somebody digs around the hammer.
Yeah, it's like the resin. Yeah, it's like someone already dug through it. But, this is where we come up with the Stan Lee cameo. How did you like that?
Yeah, well, he's got his Dodge pickup and he hooks it up to the camera and he drives off. Did I get it?
Yeah, did it work? The whole truck bed came off, man.
Yeah, and everybody's laughing at him.
It's just a small cameo, but it's so funny at that point. It just feels so right.
Yeah, and then of course Coulson drives up and is
Yeah, Coulson drives up.
Which is an agent for the I don't know what SHIELD is. I thought SHIELD was a United States agency, but that's the only United States agency I've ever seen drive Acura.
Buick, right? Is it Acura?
It was driving an Acura.
Okay.
Yeah, because normally all military, well, let's say all government people drive American. Yeah, drive American cars. Because remember, even in Iron Man, when they come up, they're all in American cars.
Yep.
Remember, they're all driving Fords.
Yep.
Like Victoria Fords. So I'm like, why are you doing an Acura? What happened?
So the part with Agent Coulson's scene, so it's actually in the same timeline as Iron Man 2,
exactly.
which I like.
Almost the exact same scene. They recreate it in a way, but you're just looking at it at a different angle. Because of course he calls Nick Fury.
Yeah, he calls Nick Fury like, "Yep, we have it."
Yeah.
And I guess that's when they start kicking people out. Hey, you can't barbecue here anymore.
Yeah, because that's when we go back to the scene with Thor in the restaurant. Yeah,
that's when he's at the restaurant
where he drinks coffee.
Not only drink coffee, right? But before he drinks that coffee, before he makes a comment about it, Darcy's like, "How do you eat 5 Pop-Tarts, right, and still be hungry?"
Yeah, it's like, how do you eat a box of Pop-Tarts?
Oh, you know what? I forgot that line because I was just rewatching again today. He's like, "Hey, this mortal body has grown weak. I need substance." They were looking at each other like, "Who the hell talks like this?"
Yeah, what is up with this guy? Where on earth did he come from?
Substances. I would start talking like that too. My body has grown weak. Because basically, he got hit by a car twice. He got hit by a car twice. He got tased. He got a shot in the ass. He's gone through some stuff.
He got stuck with a needle.
He got stuck in a needle, but the drugs take effect on your body. He probably never felt that before. Like,
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah, it took that much effect on him.
So he ate a lot, and then I assume he was drinking coffee, right? Because they never said it was coffee.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I mean, where else are you gonna drink? I mean, it could have been orange juice or milk.
Yeah, it's just a breakfast drink.
I'm thinking he'd have those on, Asgard.
No, coffee. Yeah,
I don't think they have coffee though.
Yeah, coffee, milk, or orange juice probably.
Well, they'd have milk. I'm sure they got. I mean, come on.
Well, animals, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like that.
So it's got to be coffee.
Yeah, because they would have had milk if they came back to Earth a long time ago.
That's when he made that comment like, "Hey, this drink, I like it," and Darcy's like, "I know, right?" And then he
throws the glass. Another. Ooh, that's so. They're like, that's rude.
I was like, I didn't mean any harm. I'm like, you should have asked. I did. This is how they ask for stuff.
Yeah, well, this is arrogance again right there.
It is. It's just so arrogant. It is so.
I mean,
funny.
I'm sure it has a lot to do with being a royal.
Yeah, and you know what? Like Thor's personality is actually very nice. When Darcy showed up with the phone, like, oh, this is going on Facebook, smile, and he's like,
Yeah, he smiles. Oh yeah, I mean he has manners.
yeah, he does have manners.
I'm sure he's just used to having servants wait on him and all
Yeah.
this other stuff. Because like I
It
said,
is
he's
so
a warrior.
funny.
But yeah, he has manners. He was taught manners. Because even there's another scene where he shows how nice of a person he is, even though Eric doesn't trust him. You know.
Yeah.
Remember when he wants to ride?
Well, he thinks he's the crazy person.
Well, yeah, he thinks he's crazy. Well, of course, I mean, who wouldn't? He's the guy who's Thor. I mean, come on. Even in the MCU, that's still not normal yet.
No, it's not normal. No, not at all.
I mean, the craziest thing they've seen so far is Iron Man.
Yeah.
He's not really crazy. He's just got a smart mouth.
He's also arrogant, too.
Yeah, he's very arrogant. But, I mean, they haven't seen all that stuff. Everybody's forgot about a lot of other things on Earth.
Yeah, and also New Mexico, they might not even heard of Iron Man at that point. Because it's still kind of...
They would. I think that would have been national
just
news.
a little, yeah, just a little bit, but not well known.
They would have to... No, I think they would know. I think the only story they probably would have known was the Hulk Rampage.
Oh, the Hulk, yes.
The Hulk Rampage. They probably wouldn't know. And then we don't know that... Yeah, because it's already happened.
Yep.
But, I mean, they would have already known about Iron Man because, I mean, he's got a big giant show. He owns companies.
Yeah, it's probably on TV everywhere. Because, Iron Man 2 in the same timeline, so they had the stock expo.
Yeah, because we already know that, I mean, people from Russia know who Iron Man is.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we actually know the whole world knows because they're making military weapons to beat him.
Yeah, but, yep.
So,
yeah, but
they already know who he is. But I remember when they asked to drive him somewhere, and then, of course, he says, he kisses her hand.
Yeah. Oh no! Well, before we get that, that's when those two guys came in and
when the two guys
Thor where the hammer is, and then he's on to his journey.
Yeah, that's when they said, "Oh, there's a satellite." That's what I'm thinking. You don't know that's a hammer?
Yeah. Well, it just shows
but
that.
it also tells us that Shield took over the site.
Yeah, took over the site, and this shows that people will believe whatever an authority figure tells them. That's it. They just accept it. Like, hey, whatever. That's why we can lift it. You don't want to go to a town where, like, hey, there's a hammer that fell from the sky and I can't pick it up. Oh, it's a satellite. Oh, now when you make it like a satellite, of course you can't pick up a satellite, You can't, like, imagine if I come and tell you, like, dude, I can't pick up this hammer. Like, are you serious? You sound so stupid right now.
No, actually, I'd be like, hey, I want to go show it to me.
Yeah, go show it to me. I want to try it.
I mean, that'd be the first thing. Yeah, I'd be like, hey, let's go see this.
I want to take a look, yeah.
The sad thing is if you were to go, hey, there's a satellite, I'd be like, hey, let's go see this because I want to help me load it up in our pickup.
And I think, he says goodbye to Jane, Darcy, and Eric Selvig. Yeah, it's so funny. He's very polite. He say, like, Jane Foster, Eric Selvig, Darcy. He doesn't say Darcy's last name.
Yeah, Darcy Lewis.
So, like, he says goodbye, right? And then I think after that scene, they go back to Asgard.
No.
Because, the guy was eating, and they were talking about, like, he got banished.
Okay. Well, we've already skipped over the scene where Loki finds out that he's not...
no, that was after.
Asgardian.
That's after. Like, he was like, he didn't know that his father would banish him. And then he walks away. That's when the lady Sif's like, he's always been jealous of Thor. And that's when Loki went down to the relics. Because, he didn't know what he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started touching that.
He's already figured it out. Or kind of figured it out by now. Yeah, because he goes.
He just wanted Odin to tell him.
Yeah, he goes over to the casket and he touches it, and that's when he realizes.
You keep calling it ice casket. I just want to call it that freezer box.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not the freezer box. It's casket.
The casket, yeah. He touches it.
I guess on Earth we can call it freezer box.
Yeah, and then that's when Odin tells him the whole story.
That's what Shield would call it.
Yeah. Well, that's when he grabbed it, and like Odin was there. That's when he turned around. He asked asked Odin if he was cursed. That's when Odin gave him the big spiel about like, hey, you're not cursed. The whole reason, like, Loki wanted to know why he took him as a boy.
Yeah.
Like, Odin wasn't lying, right? When he's like, he was trying to use him as an advantage to make peace with the ice giants. But it didn't work out that way.
Well, we also find out that Loki's actually the son of
Laufey.
Yeah, Laufey.
Yep.
In which Laufey doesn't even know that he has a son, apparently. I don't know if he even cares or he's just like, well, my son got killed.
Yeah, he doesn't know, right?
No, he doesn't know. He never knows this movie, even when he dies.
So the ice giant that grabbed Loki, that wasn't Laufey, it was somebody else. Oh, because Loki stabs that guy.
Yeah, Loki kills him in the end, but yeah, he's the one with all the black marks on both sides of his face. Is Laufey. But anyhow, that's where we learn, and of course, Loki gets all mad. which I guess he should. And then
So he already had a plan in motion, but whatever his plan in motion, he just kept building on it and changing
his original plan was just to keep Thor from becoming the king.
Yep.
But of course, Loki is also the god of mischief.
Yes, the god of
mischief. So he just causes trouble constantly, and I'm sure he always has.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in this way, it makes it kind of seem like he just now started. He always has.
No, he always has, because there was a story that Thor tells in Ragnarok. He tells it to the Hulk and what's that lady? I forgot, the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
He talk about, like, there was one time when I was 9, right? Like that kind of story. Like, he's always been like that.
Yeah, he's always been like that.
Yeah.
And of course, then the dad falls over. I mean, Odin.
Yeah, I guess he got sick, right?
No, well, he was already. I guess he has to like go to sleep and regenerate. And he's already past the time he was supposed to do it. I guess because I guess he really didn't want to make Thor the king. He probably had second thoughts about it for a while, so he held out a long time until he probably couldn't hold out any longer. So he's going to make Thor the king, so he can go to his Odin sleep. And instead, he went ahead and lost it.
Yeah.
He went to sleep.
Oh, that's right.
It's like a coma. Yeah,
because the next scene, Loki asks his mother, like, how long is it sleeping, and then you never know.
Yeah, she says, yeah, this wasn't expected. He wasn't ready for it yet.
Yeah.
So he may never wake up again, is what she tells him.
Oh, that's so big. It kind of give you a hint, like, well, maybe he is, I guess, dead in a way.
Yeah.
Because that's how Loki took it. His father is dead. Thor's gone, so he's the king.
Well, actually, yeah, he's hoping that his dad doesn't wake up and Thor don't come back. It's the way he's taking it. He's like, because, that's the plan now.
Yeah, that's the plan now.
He's going to have, well, I don't know, because actually we're wrong, because actually, remember, that is the plan. He just wants his dad to know that he saved the kingdom while he was asleep.
Yes, why he saved the kingdom, yeah.
He wants him to know he saved the kingdom while he was asleep.
Yep.
So.
Well, now we go back to the scene. We might not be chronological order, but we're pretty close.
So. We're pretty close.
But now Jane, after they said goodbye to Thor, they went back to the office.
We also need to stick with that, because also that's when he does become king. Because remember, all of them get together. Yeah, no, all right, you're right. We go back to the Earth.
Yeah, we go back to Earth. That's when Jane and Eric and Dawson
they don't
go back to the office.
Yeah, they go back to the office, and that's when S.H.I.E.L.D.'s taking all that stuff.
Yeah, when Shield's taking all that stuff.
Yeah, everything. Even took Marcy's iPod with 30 songs on it.
That's so funny, because she keeps saying that, right? But the whole time she was arguing with Agent
the funny
Coulson,
thing is,
she was holding her book.
The actress that played Darcy, she's in a movie called, I forget what it's called, The Infinite Playlist. Something.
Nick and Noah's Infinite Playlist.
Yeah, Infinite Playlist.
Oh, is that why she keep mentioning the iPod?
That's why I'm wondering. Probably so.
Oh, okay.
So, you took my iPod, but it only got 30 songs on it. I'm like, you put more than 30 songs on it.
I like that was the first time, like, when Coulson told them they're from from S.H.I.E.L.D., right? Like, Eric Selvig made a face that he knew who exactly.
Yeah, he already knew who they were, because then that's when we hear the Hulk story.
Yes.
Because remember, he goes, a professor dealing with gamma radiation disappeared.
Yes.
That dealt with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
Because you could already see that Eric's scared.
Yeah.
He doesn't trust him at all.
Yep.
Because we even learned later on in the movie he thinks they're going to kill him. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll go back get to that later. But so Agent Coulson that time tell her, like, we're the good guys. I know it's hard to believe, but we're the good guys. Hey, so are we.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, they're taking all their stuff, everything. And I mean, he's even a kind of a jerk about it,
Yeah.
In his idea, this is what I do, and this is okay, and we can do this. Because you know how she goes, oh, that's all my equipment. I built most of this equipment. He goes, well, you can do it again.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do it again.
And it's just what he said. It was just so cold. It's like he just doesn't care.
But at the same time, I can see, like, like from Agent Coulson's side, right? He doesn't know what Jane Foster's up to.
Yeah, but in a way, though, it's just the way he does it,
Yeah, it's just the way he does it. Like, I'm just
he assumes he's a good guy. In a way, he's just got kind of like a we can do whatever we want type of thing.
Right, because they want to know where the hammer or whatever
and they don't care about anybody's feelings. So.
No, there's no feelings. It's like equilibrium, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
You don't have feelings in that.
Yep. So they took the thing, and then
they took everything, even their journal, where they grab their journal.
Yeah, the journal is something like everything I have is over here in this book, and then then Agent Coulson did the move, and then they took the book right away. I'm like, who the hell is looking at him at the same time when they're moving stuff? He just
Because
did that move.
they're
and they took
shield
the-
agents. They're shield agents.
Yeah, they're very well aware, you know. So basically, they
They're
took
very well
everything,
aware.
so they couldn't stay there, right? And I think, no, that's when they sat on the roof and then talk about like, well, they took our backup of the backup of the backups, you know, like they're very thorough. And Eric Selvig was like, well, let me talk to my colleague, like, but they took your laptop too.
Yeah. I'm gonna email. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna email my colleagues. They took your laptop. And of course, then Jane. That's when Jane decides she's gonna go get Thor.
Yeah, go get Thor, and that's when right when Thor go to the pet store.
Yeah, looking for a horse.
I need a horse.
We already have cats and dogs.
Give one of those big enough to ride.
They're giving them one big enough to ride.
So I guess in his world they don't have dogs and cats.
Well, I mean,
Or maybe they call it something else.
at a pet store on Asgardia, you can probably get any animal you want.
Yeah.
Even a fire-breathing dragon.
Yeah, a fire-breathing dragon, you know, whatever, like a Pegasus, you know, I need something big enough to ride.
Yeah. You might as well be able to get a Pegasus. If you get a horse with 8 legs, you
Yes.
might as well get a horse with 1 horn.
So I think it was after Odin fell asleep, he went back to the Force Giants, right? Is it? That's the in the middle.
Well,
of the
it is. It is. It's later in the story. Yeah, because remember, it cuts to Loki going to the well, of course he goes to the Bifrost to go across. That's what Heimdall's like. I can't hear you or see. Well, yeah, he comes back. You know, he goes across and he comes back, and then of course Heimdall's like, while you're over there, I couldn't hear you. Or
So
see
do you know why that is?
Yeah, because he uses magic to cloak himself.
Oh. Okay.
That's why Heimdall already knows that this guy is probably the guy that used magic to bring the other Frost Giants in. Because he should have saw them come in, but he never saw them come in. So he knows that Loki probably shielded him. So he already knows that Loki's not good. Of course, Loki that pulls the I'm the king card.
Yes. Oh, I was going to ask you that before he even put the king card. He asked Heimdall if his Odin knows that he's powerful. So did Odin ever fear you?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's when and Heimdall said like, why would he? I serve and obey my king.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's pretty much pulling the king card.
Yes.
Because that's pretty much like, well, if he's not afraid of you, then I'm not going to be afraid of you because you better
Yeah.
do what I tell you to.
You
He's
know?
pretty basically telling him, you better be loyal to me too.
Yeah, because I'm the
Which
king.
is weird because I'm like, I already know that he's a little shrimp. If Heimdall wanted to beat him, he could take him out right there.
He could beat
Of course, this is where we find out the plan right here. Because remember, he goes to the Frost Giants and he strikes a deal with them.
Yep.
And the deal is, you kill my dad, you get your casket back,
Yeah, you
and I get to become the king of Asgardia.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, cool.
Well, before they say they were cool, he's like, why don't you do it? Well, I'm pretty sure the people of Asgard would not take lightly, you know, if the sun
Yeah.
kills her.
But it's funny how quick the Ice Giants are like,
Yeah.
we'll just do this. I mean, they're they're desperate now.
Yeah, they're desperate. They just want to kill Odin. But especially
they're so
Laffy.
desperate. Yeah, they're just so desperate that they don't think, this could be a trap.
Yep.
I mean, if I was Laffy, I would be like, yeah, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're going to kill your dad, then how do I know you're not going to betray me? Because
Yep.
obviously you're the type that does that.
And then while this scene happens, you know, Jane picks up Thor, you know, from the pet store, and they were heading to the site. And that's when Thor got to the site. He tells Jane that, like, you know, I'm gonna fly out of there because I'm gonna get all your stuff back.
Yeah, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to get all your stuff back. No big deal.
And then when he infiltrating that campsite, right? That's when you see Hawkeye you see Hawkeye for the
I
first
basically
time.
see Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
it's just
introduced for the first time.
very brief.
Yeah.
Which actually, Hawkeye's actually introduced in an Iron Man comic book. Well, yeah, he's in it's not Iron Man, but it's when Iron Man appears. He appears with Natasha.
Oh, he does?
Black Widow. Because Black Widow actually, well, she's Black Widow, and she just kind of does a little
I
wiggling.
thought Black Widow first made an appearance in Spider-Man.
Nope. Black Widow makes her first appearance in Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she makes her first appearance in Iron Man, and then the second issue that she makes her appearance, second time she makes her appearance in Iron Man, is with Hawkeye. And she gets Hawkeye, or they fall in love. I mean, Hawkeye likes her. And she's like, hey, why don't you fight Iron Man? And he's like, I'll do anything for you, baby. Basically, you know.
I
If it was me, I was like, I'm not going to fight this dude in an iron suit. I don't care who you are. But anyhow, we we see Hawkeye for the first time.
Well, it's so funny because like I need someone up high with a gun. He did pick the gun, but then he put
Yeah,
it
they showed
down
him
to
put
get
his
the
hands with the gun,
yeah.
which I thought was kind of lame in a way.
Yeah, it was kind of lame.
Like, come on, because the way he puts his hands with the gun, it's like you're not gonna pick the gun up because I mean, just the way you're putting your hands on it, you already know you're not gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, why? You weren't even thinking about it. And then, of course, he grabs his bow and arrow.
Yep, and then Thor fights all these dudes.
Which lets us know that's Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Because it never goes by Hawkeye. It goes by
Barton.
Yeah. That's what his real name is. And, of course, then you see you see Thor tearing everything up.
Yep.
And I love it. Jane calls Eric.
Yeah, calls Eric's like, hey,
you know that thing you told me not to do? Well, I did that thing I was not.
So if you don't hear me for about an hour, right? When I come to this site.
And of course, I like it that Thor battles his way all the way through.
Yeah, all the way through.
He's beating all those guys pretty good.
Even the last big dude at the end.
And of course, yeah, and even S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are noticing this guy can fight.
Yeah, this guy can fight. And also, Barton was calling like, hey, Coulson, are you going to send more guys for him to beat up?
Yeah.
Or do you want him to slow him in? Do you want me to slow him down?
Yeah, Hawkeye also says you need to call a shot because I'm starting to root for this guy.
Yeah, I'm going to start to root for this guy. That was so funny. It's just like...
It's cool because then he finally gets the hammer and he can't pick the hammer.
Yeah, he can't pick the hammer up. Even Coulson said that he wanted to see this. Like, he wanted to see why he was fighting so hard to get to that point.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously, if somebody's going to beat up a whole bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, he must be able to pick the hammer up.
Yep. And you know what's really funny? So Thor was arrogant all the way till he realized that he can no longer pick up the hammer.
Yeah.
That's when he realized, I'm a human.
Yeah.
Or I'm a mortal, not a human.
He got beat. Yeah. Well, he finally got beat.
Yeah.
He could never be beat. He was never gotten beat, and he didn't get beat by anybody. He just got beat by his personality.
Yep.
Finally got to the hammer. His pride beat him.
Yeah, his pride beat him.
Because he was just going to walk in there and pick up that hammer.
Yeah, he thought it was going to happen. That didn't.
He thought it was going to be like Rhodey just going into Iron Man's house and getting out through the armor. No, it didn't happen that way. Okay. Because his pride eventually hit to swallow his pride.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting in that room all quiet.
Yep. Yeah, he's sitting in that room go quiet. That's when Agent Coulson has the funniest line. You make my guards feels like minimum wage more cops.
Yeah. Because what kind of training do you have?
Yeah.
And of course, Colton's kind of got the arrogant streak too in a way because he goes, "We'll find out."
Yeah.
We'll find out who you're for. And then of course he
gets a call, right? I don't know if that was important or not.
I don't think it was important.
Oh, you know what? Even before he gets to the hammer, that's the other agent that that's part of Hydra. What is his name?
Oh yeah, we see Agent Sitwell.
Yeah, Sitwell.
Yeah, we see him, which is going to be an important character because we'll see him again. He'll be in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he'll also be in Winter Soldiers. This next one he appears in.
Yeah.
I don't know if he appears in anything else. It seems like he appears in a couple of the one-shots.
Well, one shot, I know he appears in Endgame.
Does he appear in Endgame?
Yeah, that's when Captain America picked up the Cypher.
Oh yes, well he does when it back in time. So basically, he's not appearing in Endgame. He's actually appearing.
He's probably in Avengers too.
He's appearing in another movie. He's appearing in Avengers.
Yeah.
We didn't see him in Avengers because we got to do that flash time loop.
Yeah,
it's just a time loop. That's all we've been.
So we see Sitwell for the first time, but you didn't think any much of him because everybody just worked for the shows at that moment.
Yeah, I mean he has a speaking role. Nobody else really gets to talk. So I mean we know he's an important. I really don't think they set him up though to be a Hydra agent yet.
No, yeah, I saw that
because we're gonna put Coulson is not in the comic books. He appears after Iron Man, but Sitwell is in the comic books.
Oh.
He's a very loyal S.H.I.E.L.D. agent to Nick Fury.
Oh, so
he does actually. Well, there's a whole story to his deal, and he does actually become a Hydra agent, and then he becomes a good guy again. Blah blah blah. I mean, everybody gets to become a good guy. Because Hydra infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. is a later story that doesn't even appear in the. It appears in the MCU, but it also appears after that in the Marvel comic books.
So of the part where Coulson gets a phone call, I guess that's not even important at all, right? So it's not important.
So phone call, because for all we know, Loki called him.
Oh, just to get him out of the room.
Yeah, faked out him or something. Because even though they close the door, he goes out and we see Loki in a nice
See
suit.
Loki, so he could tell, so he could lie to Thor about his banishment, his mother forbidden that he can't come, and Thor accepting that as reality. Oh, because he trusts his brother. Why wouldn't he, right?
Yeah, because his brother's his brother.
Yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to be a good brother to him as he's been to Loki.
Yep, and then he just said goodbye, and then Loki trying to pick up the hammer.
Yeah, we see Loki trying to pick up the hammer, which is silly because I'm like, dude, you're kind of crooked. You're not the deal the hammer.
So I'm gonna point out something. When I was we watching that earlier today, and I was telling my wife, Heather, that like, so all this time, even during this time, right? If Captain America was awake, he could have picked up the hammer at that point.
I'm guessing he could.
Yeah, because
Captain
America's whole life, he could have picked up the hammer.
Well, we don't know that because we don't know how time would have affected Captain America. Because you got to remember, Captain America was asleep from the end of the war, in like what 45,
but
all
that's
the
what
way.
I'm saying, though. If he was awake,
if he was awake the whole time, would he have been able to? Because I'm saying, let's say Captain America never fell in the ocean and went to sleep, he would have had to go through like the 1950s, all the troubles that America had. He would have had to go through the 1960s, all the troubles that the United States had. He would have had to go.
Oh, you're talking about personality. No, I'm saying that he's after he frozen from ice. If he was awake from frozen from the ice.
Well, if they would have frozen, if they would have just brought him up there and unfrozen, he would have been up there.
Yeah, he would. Okay.
I think he was that type of guy. He's always been that type of guy.
Yeah, he's always been that type of guy.
Well, it's not really just good. It's selfless, being selfless.
Yeah.
It's everybody before you, because we'll see that. Because Thor is all about himself.
All about himself. Yeah.
It wasn't until Thor put everybody.
Oh, let's not get to the end yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but anybody's ever seen the movie, he knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, you're right. It's not
if you haven't seen this movie yet, we already ruined it for you.
I put spoilers, and then the movie's like 11, 12 years old now.
Exactly. Well, then why can't we explain the end then?
Yeah. So Loki can't pick up the hammer. That's when he leaves, and that's when Eric Silver comes in.
No, well, they come later. Yeah, they come to pick him up.
Yeah, they come to pick him up. They call him Donald Blake.
Oh, yeah, they're Donald Blake. And of course, S.H.I.E.L.D. knows they're lying.
Yeah, he's lying because Coulson wanted to see where this is going.
Yeah, I mean,
because even showed you the ID is fake.
I mean, come on, yeah. Because you got S.H.I.E.L.D. Even in their world, you probably would think you shouldn't lie to S.H.I.E.L.D. Because if the FBI or the Secret Service might know you're lying, S.H.I.E.L.D. must definitely.
Oh, they know you're lying, definitely. But I think that Coulson wants to see where he's going because he wants them followed.
Yeah, well, he wants to know. Well, he actually wants to know, why did this guy come to get the hammer?
Yep.
That's his whole idea. Is why is this guy coming to get the hammer?
Yep.
Who is this guy?
If she was so protective, right? How did Thor so easily walk away with that notebook? Like, they just leave it lying out somewhere,
Yeah, they just leave it laid out where they grab it.
I thought that was like, it's dumbfounded in a way. Like, why would they just do that?
Oh, some agent thought there was something juicy in that book and probably took it over there and read it, set it down.
So as they were leaving, he goes through the whole spiel, like, steroids, and he was upset and all that junk, right?
So how do you beat on my guy? Steroids.
And then, like, when Agent Coulson was saying, like, hey, don't take him to any more balls, like, okay, whatever, hey, where we going? Did you get a drink?
Yeah.
And I think that's when Thor and Eric was, getting their friendship going. He did ask him to leave town, but they're just drinking.
Yeah, he tells him to leave. He goes, I'll buy you one more drink, and you got to leave town.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, okay. He goes, we're going to get you a Boilermaker.
Yeah, but that part was so funny. When they were both drinking, they were looking at each other, like, they just keep chugging.
Yeah, and then the next scene we see is him dragging Eric over to Jane's trailer.
Yeah, just the trailer, yeah.
Yeah. What happened? Oh, we fought.
We drank.
We drank. We argued. We fight. He would make his ancestors so proud.
Yep.
I really doubt they fought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like fight. They probably like arguments and stuff. But
they probably didn't do
that's
that.
Probably because that's when Eric said, "I still don't believe you're a god of thunder."
Yeah. Yeah, I do like it when he lays him down. He goes, "I still don't believe your story."
Yep. And that's when I guess he after they laid him to bed, they go outside. That's when Thor start explaining to Jane, like the story that his mother or his father would tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he explains that. And I forgot what this next scene goes to. It probably go back to Loki.
I think it went back to Asgard.
Yeah, it went back to Asgard.
now the what do you call it? The Warriors 3 and this Lady Sif, they're like, hey, we're gonna go talk
they
to.
plan to go get Thor because
Yeah,
Loki's jealous or whatever.
Well, they wanted to go. They want to go talk to Odin to see if he'll bring him back.
Yep.
And they go in there, and then of course it's Loki.
No, the big dude, right? He's like, don't you think Heimdall is listening to all this? And before you know, the door opens like, Heimdall calls for your, what did they? Heimdall calls for your whatever.
You gotta remember though, they first went and saw Loki because they didn't know Loki was the king yet.
Oh yes, it's already.
Remember, they go to see Loki, and then they try to like
ask him.
Yeah,
they ask him to unbanish Thor.
Of course, he's like, I can't undo that. And then they get mad, and of course they're like, oh, we better just.
We do it ourselves.
Yeah, we'll just bow down to you, and we're gonna go leave.
Yep.
And then that's when they hear about Heimdall.
Yep. Oh, that was very funny. Like immediately.
I like it, and then they're like, well, if you're working for Loki, you can't. He goes, I am walking. He goes, what did he do? He walks off.
No. Before he did that, Heimdall asked them like, so this is your intention to disobey Loki and go and find Thor yourself? He's like, yeah, pretty much. And then he's like, no, he said something where like, well, can you open the door for us? Well, I obey my king, so I cannot open the Bifrost for you. And then he just leaves.
Yeah, he just leaves.
He just leaves, leaving the Bifrost sword into that thing.
So they go, in there and they.
Yeah, so technically he's not disobeying his king. He just left the post.
Yeah, he kind of walked off. I mean, he had to take a pee break. He's probably just peeing off the edge of the Bifrost Bridge. But
excuse me, you guys can't see.
I'm gonna walk all the way. I'm not gonna walk all the way across the bridge.
Yeah, they just left that. That's really funny. Like when they get to Earth, right, and then like I do remember the movie, like when they come on, like, oh, people probably thought there were some kind of Renaissance fair, and then that's the first thing they said, like, is there a Renaissance fair in town?
Yeah, and then they call up. I know. I got the line. We got a Xena we got
Xena, Jackie Chan, and Robin Hood.
Robin. But I like it. Also, it's when they're sitting there. Jane's talking to Thor. She goes, "If we just had some proof." Then you hear that knocking on the window.
Yeah, and then like, we found you.
We found you.
It's just timing so perfect in those last few scenes, like Heimdall can hear us. Well, Heimdall request for your presence. When those shield agents said that line, so yeah, we got Cena, Jackie Chan, and Robin. They didn't mention the big guy. Just 4 of them walking, and out of those 3 people, one of them is a real person, Jackie Chan. Xena, Jackie Chan, and Robin Hood.
Yeah, but they're just referring to the Asian guy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's when Thor introduced them, and then I guess at that point when Loki finds out what had happened.
Yeah, he realized.
He sent the destroyer.
Yeah, he sends the destroyer to go kill Thor now.
Yep, and that's when Agent Sidwell was telling Coulson that like, hey, we got a lot of magnetic electro activity at whatever 15 minutes from here.
Yeah,
and that's when
then
they
all
turned
drop
to check
the
it out.
cars to go.
Yeah,
I like it when they show up. The destroyer lands. Is that one of Stark's?
Yeah. He's so casual. He's like, I don't know, man. That guy doesn't tell me anything.
And then it destroys their cars.
Yeah, like this fire come out of his face.
Yeah, this little shield opens up and there's no face in there.
Yeah, because you said like Loki can see through whatever the destroyers can see.
Yeah, he can see whatever the destroyers.
So what's really funny is like, so he takes command, right, and he can control it. Why does he need to tell the destroyer beforehand, like destroy everything, make sure Thor doesn't come back?
I don't know. So the audience will know.
Oh, okay. So it's for our benefit.
Come on. If the movie went where he just sits there and goes,
and they just like, what the hell's going on?
He never talks, then we're just like, what's going on?
Yeah. So that's
why he's got to tell it because it wouldn't work.
It's a line for us.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work if he just sat there and just laughed the whole time.
Okay.
I see you, brother.
Oh.
Yeah, that was for us. And of course, yeah, then that's when Thor realizes he can't fight him, so he's gonna get everything. They're trying to evacuate the whole town.
Yeah.
And of course, the Lady Sif is gonna fight the destroyer. All the warriors.
All the world try to fight. So like, it feels like Justice League, right? Like, not until Superman comes back, like everybody, the Justice League is basically useless.
Yeah, well, yeah, in a way, because none of them can beat the destroyer.
No, none of them can.
And the thing is, to me, Thor shouldn't have been able to beat the destroyer.
Really?
But I guess because the destroyer is built to like protect like from the Celestials.
Okay.
Very powerful beings, like beings that Thor would. I mean, come on, Thor could barely beat Thanos.
Yeah.
I mean, the Destroyer should have been able to beat Thanos like that.
Really?
In a way, yeah, because it's supposed to. I mean, it's supposed to be able to defend the realm.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it had been that powerful. It may have been level with Thanos, but
Okay.
that's basically what it is. It's supposed to defend against a lot of deals. But of course, Thor beats him in the comic book, so he's got to beat him in this movie. And if he didn't beat him in this movie, everybody'd been Ash.
Yeah, I think just basically to show that like they none of them can beat the Destroyer, so you need Thor, and that's when he put everyone else before him for the first time.
Yeah, because remember he walks up and begs his brother to please let him go.
He
blah,
begs.
blah. And of course his brother just has him slap him.
Yeah, slapped him. Yep.
And almost killed him.
I thought it did kill them.
Yeah, I don't know because he raised his hand up and got the hammer.
Well, yeah. Well, I thought
A
that
dead
was
man
just the
can't.
hammer.
A dead man can't do that. I'm sure he was dead. He was dying.
He was dying. He was close to death.
I've never seen a dead man raise a hand up.
He's close to Odin's sleep, you know.
Yeah, he's close to. Well, I don't think he was going to get any Odin sleep over there.
He's just going to be sleep permanently.
At first, we see the hammer fly back into his hand.
Yeah, the hammer fly back to his hand. Yep.
Then pretty much.
So he summoned the hammer, right? When you said that he lift his hand up.
Yeah. Well, we see the hammer fly back, and then his hand goes up and grabs.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he gets his power back. And all his armor just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's just it's like Iron Man, right?
It probably was laying out there in the desert somewhere. I don't know.
So because the hammer, you possess the power of Thor, so he comes back with the hammer.
Well, we saw his dad throw all the armor out in space.
Yeah.
And that may have been all the little pieces that Jane's been finding all that time.
Oh.
Because remember, she's out there because the wormholes keep opening up.
Right.
And then Thor falls through it, and then the hammer falls through it. So it must have been other parts falling through it.
Oh, and then everything's coming back together.
Yeah, it's so small. Yeah, it's so small she never found the pieces.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And then it must have flew all over the desert and came back to him.
It came back to him, and then he's like all standing tall and stuff.
Yeah, talking about having dirt in your clothes.
Yeah. And then that's when Eric Selvig can't even believe what he was seeing, and then that's when Jane said like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, it's got that "oh my god" moment.
Yep. And then he stands up and he beats the Destroyer.
Yeah, he beats the Destroyer pretty easily.
It's pretty easy. It goes back to like these battles are not long at all. It just
I mean the movie was basically to set up who Thor is and what he's about.
And it comes my favorite line of the movie when Agent Coulson comes and he calls him the son of Cole.
Yeah, he's son of Cole.
Son of Cole.
Yeah, of course what Coulson says. Hold up, Thor. We got to debrief you.
Yeah, you got to debrief you. And then also before they said that, Thor tells him that, he's a protector of this rim, so you can count me as an ally. But I'm not going to do that until you return Jane's shit, okay? Then you talk. Yeah. And it's like, Stowe, borrowed.
yeah, Stowe, borrowed. And he goes, yeah, we'll give her a job now. And now this is a good thing because she works for S.H.I.E.L.D. in a way.
Yeah, because you need to continue her research.
Well, her and Eric. And
Eric, yeah.
Apparently Darcy must work for him too because she disappears, but we know because she'll eventually appear back as she's got a degree and
she went back to school for astrophysics.
Yeah, so apparently she worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
Yeah.
Even though S.H.I.E.L.D.'s gone by the time she comes back.
Yep. Well, we're going way into the future.
Yeah. Well, we're time jumpers, okay?
Yeah, we sure are because at this point, right?
This is the only way we're going to be able to time travel. I mean, I don't know about you,
we've
but I don't
seen
have
everything already. That's why we're touching back on this stuff.
Yeah, and plus I like the time travel.
Yeah, I do too. And so can't wait till we get to Endgame like 4 months from
now. This is the only way I can tell you stuff that you don't know yet because I saw it already.
That's the basis of our show. Like, hey, we want you to at least know this stuff so we can keep jumping back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody can watch. We watch everything.
Well, plus we want to act like we know everything. Feels like we know what the future is, even though because it's already actually happened.
Yes, it's already actually happened. So we are on a different timeline,
Yeah. We're like the dude who sits on the moon all the time and just watches the Marvel Universe.
Well, so let's get back to the movie. So while this time Loki let the Laffy and I guess 2 other Force Giants into Asgard.
Yeah, he did.
That's when
he let them
thought,
in, and of course,
that's when Laffy thought he was going to kill Odin.
Yeah, he pulls out his blade and he's about to stab Odin. And of course, I thought he was. You know, I forgot.
I thought too.
I forgot how the scene went down. That's the thing. You know, I almost forgot this whole deal. And of course, Loki kills him.
Yep.
Yeah, just damn, shoots him, blows him all asleep. So I was like, what?
Well, I know, right? Like, so Loki could have defeated him easily too.
Yeah, Loki beat him like he was nothing.
He just shot him with his cipher or whatever staff. Is that the same thing that Odin had?
Yes, it is Odin's staff. That is Odin's staff.
So okay, so if he could have done that so Odin could have done that when the first time he picked up Thor and his friends.
Yes, he could.
He could have shot Laufey, but he chose not to.
He could have wiped out a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, he could have wiped a whole bunch of it. It goes back to the good king.
Plus, a fight, you got to also remember, a fight's different when they're fighting you, but when somebody's got their back turned to you and you blast them,
yeah,
they're gonna die. Yeah, I mean, come on, because he didn't think Loki was gonna. He didn't think Loki would kill him, because to him, Loki's just a little weakling.
Yeah.
I guess if he would have known that Loki was his long lost son, he probably wouldn't have turned his back on him.
Because he had that line when Laufey said, "You die at the hand of Laufey," right? And then just to let you know, you die at the hands of Loki.
Yeah, I like it. Well, he goes Odin's son.
Odin's son, yeah, that's right, Odin's son.
And he blasts him. Now his plan is, my dad's gonna love me when he wakes up.
Yes, that's so weird.
I saved his life and I saved the kingdom.
And then later, when he was fighting Thor, he told him that he doesn't even care for the throne.
Yeah, he doesn't, because I guess he didn't feel like his brother ever took him seriously.
Yeah.
I think he felt that nobody took him seriously. Because, I mean, otherwise he wouldn't want to do all that stuff for his dad. You know?
Yep.
I think he wanted to.
So he has a daddy issue.
Well, I think it has a lot probably to do with they always treated Thor probably better than him.
Yeah, the way that he sees it.
Or yeah, the way he said it. He probably always thought that Thor is always treated better than him. They see Thor as the better warrior. They see Thor as the better everything, you know?
Yeah, Thor's much bigger, you know?
And plus the fact that he knows he's adopted now makes it even worse.
Yeah, it makes it even worse, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's got a big case of stepson Ethan.
So, you know, Thor and Loki didn't have a big fight scene. Oh, you know what? We missed the part where...
They did have a big fight.
Well, before we get to that, you know, when Thor was calling Heimdall, because he was frozen.
Well, yeah.
We skipped all that,
because he's frozen. Well, yeah, we forgot what they froze Heimdall.
Loki froze him.
But he could still see, because it shows
he could still see, and, like, you know, he was still trying to break out of it. When he broke out of it... Oh, no, wait, when Loki fires him. He told him that he was no longer a citizen of Asgard. He relieved him of his duty, right? And that's when Heimdall said, good. Now I don't have to no longer obey you. And he was trying to hit him with the sword, and that's why he was stuck in that position.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not the king anymore.
Yeah, you're not the king anymore, and he's trying to kill him.
Yeah, and then they freezes him. But then he breaks out all the ice.
Yep, and then he attacked those two guys, and then he led Thor back into Asgard. But you could tell that he was hurt at that point, because I guess the ice or something, you know, whatever Loki did.
But you can see the ice slowly cracking and cracking and cracking. And then, of course, he kills the two ice guys and lets Thor back in.
You know, he flew.
Then he lets Thor back in.
Then he's trying to tell their mother that, tell her how you're trying to kill me and stuff.
Yeah, and the mom's like, what?
Yeah.
Not my baby. Yeah. He never do anything like that.
It's so funny that Rene Russo is a big actress, too, and she have less lines and screen time than Heimdall. Figure had less screen time than Heimdall.
Yeah.
Less lines, too.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't write the script.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I guess maybe they did and just cut it all out.
Yeah, they may cut it. I mean, I can't. They may just, to make the movie run and get towards the end. I mean, because a lot of people didn't have a lot of lines. Even Odin didn't have that many lines.
No, Odin didn't have much lines.
Because when you think about it, that's Anthony Hopkins.
Yep. It was a pretty good cast.
He's like the biggest actor in the movie.
Yeah, he's the biggest actor in that movie.
I mean, come on, because Thor, at that time, the actor playing Thor isn't that big.
No.
You know? I mean, because we didn't know who this guy was when we went to go see Thor.
And he's Australian, right?
Yeah, he's from Australia. But I remember when we went to go see Thor, I don't remember, because, we made a big deal out of every other movie we went to see.
Yeah.
We didn't say nothing about Thor, because remember, Thor come out in the fall.
Yeah,
I don't remember us thinking it was going to even be that great.
I didn't even know about Chris Hemsworth, or he had three other brothers.
Because we never even saw it. Yeah, we never saw it, so we never said anything. Because I remember us nobody going, oh, I hope this movie's good. Because we didn't say anything. It's just like, Thor's out. Let's go see it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember that too. Like I didn't know much about Thor. I thought it was gonna be boring.
Yeah, because I mean, it wasn't like Captain America because we're still talking about Captain America when Thor came out. We were still griping about who would be Captain America.
Yes.
So that shows you how important. Because I mean, Thor just kind of flew under the radar for us. Because I remember after we saw it, that's when we were like, oh yeah, this is good.
Yep, this is good.
Remember, especially
it's still very good.
Because I remember that's all we were talking about. Throwing the cup down. I was like, we watched the whole movie and all we were worried about is throwing a cup down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it turned out because I mean after that it was like, well, we got to see Captain America now.
Yeah, so like they didn't have a fight scene. Basically, we talk about like how
Yeah,
Loki want to be treated. Yeah, it's just not a big fight scene.
This is mainly where it was mainly just like a little brother fight.
Yeah, it's just like the little brother want to be recognized.
I mean, it's probably what your two sons fight like at home.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably don't freeze the house. They don't do that.
They complain a lot. That's what they do.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what Thor and Loki did. Okay?
Yeah, that's basically what they did. Well, more on Loki's side.
Yeah.
And
of course.
Well, hold on. So Loki's plan was to kill all the frost giants.
Yeah, he was gonna kill all the frost giants to make his dad happy.
Yep.
I don't know why he thought that.
You know what? Even before that, Heimdall talked about that. Like, this is what happened when you leave the Bifrost open. You destroy the planet because it's so powerful.
Because it just keeps putting power into the other planet.
Yep.
Of course, he's destroying their planet. About wipes them out. And of course, the only way he stops it, Thor decides he has to break that.
He has to break that. And then, like, Loki took the chance of betting on that he won't because, he know that he's in love with that Earth woman.
Yeah, and even Loki's like, what are you doing? You're not going to be able to see her again. Trying to stop him. He's like, whatever.
But before he said that, he dropped that hammer. He put the hammer on his chest.
Yeah, when he lays it, he can't get up. Yeah, he can't move. I'm thinking, that Loki needed to kind of shift a little bit. You know how you ever been lifting weights and they kind of fall on you?
Yeah,
you got a spotter. Hey, who needs a spotter? Okay,
yeah.
And then you got to shift out of them.
even with the fight scene on the bridge, Loki did that illusion move again.
Yeah, he did do the illusion move.
Yeah, and then he did a whole bunch of it, and then like Thor was able to break it easily.
Yeah, I like it. He breaks off the whole bridge.
Yeah, he breaks off the whole bridge, man. He just breaks it. And it feels like, when he break that right now, like, Heimdall doesn't have a job anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure he was ticked. He's like, oh, man, I'm not going to make the sequel now. Of course, Loki falls off the bridge.
Yeah,
and then Thor grabs him.
Well, that's when Odin wakes up, yeah.
Yeah, that's when Odin wakes up and just like that, flies out there and grabs him.
Yep, grabs them, with a stick, and then Thor's holding to the stick, yep.
Yeah, and of course Loki's like, hey, I did it for you, Dad.
Yeah, I know. He's like, no, Loki. And then he just drops and falls out of the universe, I guess. What is that? What did he like?
In space.
In space, right?
He just falls off into space, into the vast of their space.
Yep.
Which apparently he must go through another ram hole or something. He must go through something.
Yep.
Which we will see later, which, I mean, it shows us later.
Yep.
And of course, what happens after that?
Well, they have like some kind of gathering.
Yeah, they have a gathering, but this is also where Thor tells his dad that
he's not ready to be a king, and
he doesn't know anything.
The Lady Sif tells Figure that she's sorry for her loss.
Yeah.
Everybody believed that Loki's dead.
Yeah. Well, he's lost.
Yeah, he's lost.
Apparently, you don't fall off. I mean, come on. Even in their world, you just don't fall off into nothingness.
Yeah, it's just so weird, right? Like, he's just gone for now, okay? Like, I don't know where he's gone.
Because
he's missing.
In a way, because you got to remember when they banished Thor, they just threw him off the deal.
Yeah.
So in a way, Loki's banished.
Yeah, he's banished.
He banished himself.
Yeah, and then there's Thor have a talk with his father about, like, he still have a lot to learn, and he's not worthy or something, He needs to make his father proud.
Yeah, he just wants to be Thor.
Yeah, and then his father said, "I'm already proud of you, son."
Yeah, because you did all that crap and.
Well, he knew that he sent Thor to Earth on purpose, because Figure tells Loki, like, there's always a purpose on everything your father does.
Yeah, and I guess he figured out what's going to happen. So
yep.
Everything happened in a short amount of time. Because in the comic book, it takes forever for Donald Blake to figure out he's actually Thor and go back to Asgard.
Wow.
So yeah, in just a movie length, we already covered all the way from the 1960s to the 1980s.
Oh, that's really good, because they want to make it in one movie. They don't want to have 2 Thor sequels before you get to the Avengers.
Yeah, you don't want to. It was. I mean, come on, because they got I mean, I don't want to die before they're done with all this stuff. I mean, come on.
So let's finish this movie out. So he talks to his father. Then that's when at the end he goes to Heimdall. He asks Heimdall if he can still see her, like Jane.
Yes.
Because he asked Heimdall like what she's doing. Well, she's okay. She's looking for you.
So the whole time now, Thor's probably goes up to him every day and goes, "How's she doing?" And him does probably eventually like, "Okay, dude,
you gotta stop, okay? Find a hobby."
It's like, yeah, the lady Sif, she's over there, and she's single.
Yeah,
Quit
she's
coming
kind of cute too, okay?
Yeah. Quit telling me to keep spying on your girlfriend, okay? Your long lost love, your ex, whatever.
Don't get attached to things, okay? Learn to let go.
Yeah. And then we get the cut scene.
Well, you get the cutscene, so that's when you talk about like Salvix. He thought they were gonna kill him.
Yeah, they really thought they'd kill him. But here's the greatest thing about this cutscene is we finally get to see, because it's got
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury, and he opens the briefcase, which finally lets us know what was in the briefcase from Pulp Fiction. That's right.
Is that how you connect it?
That's what it was. It was Tesseract.
So it's the first Infinity Stone appearance.
Yes, we see the first Infinity Stone.
Yep, and we saw, was it Loki controlling Salvik, or he was being Salvik?
Yeah, no, it was Loki using his powers from wherever he was to control. Yeah, because I mean, I guess you call it like an astral projection. Okay. Loki's not there. Loki is not on Earth. He's on another planet.
Right, because he did that earlier in the movie anyway.
Yeah, he did that in the movie, which is weird. I don't know why he thought the astral projection was going to move the hammer.
He's like a
You're
Jedi.
not even there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing Jedi powers.
Yeah, he's doing Jedi powers.
Come on, who do you think you are, Luke Skywalker? Because you're not. But anyhow, he puts that, he says those words. So I guess through Eric's
Salvik,
through Eric Salvik's eyes, he's seeing everything that's going on.
Yes.
Now at the Shield deepest levels of headquarters that even Nick Fury has to get special access to. He can't just walk down there either.
Yep.
So that sets us up. Now the question is, where they get that Tesseract?
Exactly. So, and also at the end of the movie, before the post-credit scene, they said Thor will return in Avengers.
Yeah, which they always do that for, because they always say Tony Stark will return.
Yeah.
But you know what that's from, right?
No.
James Bond. At the end of the credits of every James Bond movie, James Bond will return.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Every one you watch it, James Bond will return.
Ah. I don't know why they did that.
I see that. It's like, that's just like James Bond. Because all the Iron Man ones, it's Tony Stark will return.
Well, so far we've seen 4 MCU movies: Iron Man 1, right, and then Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, and then Thor.
Yes.
Which one of these 4 was? I think I like Iron Man 2 the best. Out of these 4, just these 4.
Out of these 4, I don't know. It's hard to have favorites, but it's going to be an Iron Man story. Either Iron Man or Iron Man 2. I think I ended up actually watching Iron Man 2 the most. But I mean, I watched Iron Man 1 until I almost messed up. But yeah, I think I watched the second one the most. But yeah, I like the first Iron Man and the second Iron Man. I mean, Hulk is going to be the lowest on my list.
Shoot, like we talk about when we started, I think I've seen it less than 5 times.
I mean, and I guess if you're a Hulk fan, it's no big deal. If you're just a Hulk fan, yeah. But I think I had a lot of, the problem is it's not the Hulk that I see in Avengers.
Yeah.
And it's just the story was so different from the rest of them in a way. It's just, to me, it just wasn't as...
Well, I'm ready for next week, because next week we're doing Captain America. Finally, the first Avenger.
Because that's where the Tesseract is linked to the next one.
Yeah, that's the Tesseract linked to the next movie. That's right. So yeah, I'm going to end it right here. I'm going to end it right here, man. Thank you for watching this segment of our reviews. I hope you had a great time listening to us. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.